Hi guys, what's up? What's down? What's sideways? James here for chronic fatigue syndrome, my friend, my enemy, my constant companion. So, um, fibromyalgia syndrome, and when you remember that you have it. So, um, I've also got fibromyalgia syndrome, and I don't. They kind of they all seem like pretty interconnecting symptoms in that, except with fibromyalgia syndrome, it's much really easy. Like you're going to feel tired in that because um, it's not so much you've got the chronic fatigue aspect, but you've got the constant body just like all your muscles are tight, or your tendons are tight, or just everything. You have muscle pain, or you have this kind of pain. For me, I might not feel the pain. It'll be so much pain that I feel sick, and that for me to feel the pain, I have to like bring it down. Um, and like chronic fatigue syndrome, it's always this constant background noise. It's not always really bad, but sometimes, like, so I would say, so I've got like a much higher aspect of chronic fatigue syndrome. And the chronic fatigue syndrome and the fibromyalgia syndrome is like this constant background noise on top of whatever I feel. And with the fibromyalgia syndrome, sometimes it kind of like I'm always here, by the way. You don't pay attention to me, but I want some airtime. Blah. So today, oh my goodness, I was like, I also have fibromyalgia syndrome. Right. I remember you. Because it's a constant background noise, and I hear people talking about flare-ups, and I don't ever really know what they're talking about. I just have like varying degrees of what's going on. So I guess I could say I've got a flare-up of the fibromyalgia syndrome aspect, but I don't know. So oh my goodness, it is so much fun. So much fun that I wouldn't wish it on you. It's so much fun that I want to keep it away from you. You know, like I'm being very selfish. I find personally, like besides the, like I'll be walking and I could lose the ability to walk. And I just like I'm walking and crash, and it's always funny when you know like I've been studying martial arts my entire life. I am like a master's grade. I have control of my body. I have control. I am sinking. And the control is good because it allows me to control myself to the ground. But I don't necessarily have the ability to override what's going on. So like you have like random pain, sharp pains, tingly pains, burny pains, tight pains. Like I feel all of my muscles, and you can get that from like being dehydrated and stuff like that, but it's kind of like a add-on. And so when you have this plus the weather we've been having in Australia, it just kind of stacks. For me, the worst kind is it like sits in my shoulder and my neck, and radiates outwards. So my shoulder and my neck, right up into my skull, and then it throws everything else off, and it's not like someone's hit you or a bruise pain. It's like inside. It's like wrapping around your bone. It's really weird, and I could say like it's here, but it's not. It's in here, and it's like it's not here, but it's here. So sometimes it'll get really bad. Like I'll feel really sick, and like this isn't CFS sick. This is, oh wow, I'm in a lot of pain. And so for the first part of today, I was like poodling along, and then this started coming on to the point where I was actually conscious of it, and then I was like, oh, let's keep going, and I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going, and then towards like the afternoon, early afternoon, like 2-ish, something like that. It got to the point where I was like, it's really bad. And so the only thing like, uh, drugs don't work. Like, I just, my body laughs at it. But if it's really bad, I'll take it just to bring it down a little bit. Just even if it could take just a little bit of the edge off, and then make sure I've had water in that, and then I'll go lie down and try and let my muscles settle themselves. And yeah, it just plays on like your thinking as well. So that aspect, like the pain aspect, plays on your thinking. It wears you down, can make you quite irritable, tires you out, and it has those overlapping features with chronic fatigue syndrome. So I don't know anyone who, like, one of my brothers, he has predominantly fibromyalgia syndrome, and the chronic fatigue side, not so much. Having fibromyalgia syndrome on its own is tiring as it is, because you're under that. It's anything that's chronic and that constant pressure on you is going to wear you down, body and mind. Being irritable is most probably one of the lesser responses you could have to being constantly under it. It's not nice for you or for people around you when you're feeling irritable like that, because you're in a constant pain, and then if you're dealing with interacting with other people, they don't feel what you're feeling right now, and so it really requires a lot of patience on their part, and also for you to keep checking in on what you're saying and how you're responding. So small things can sometimes just set you off, because it's just that one extra thing. It's like that extra straw that broke the camel's back. It becomes that straw. Like you're so used to carrying a heavy load, and then one little thing just tips it all over. It's really unpleasant. Though there's never an excuse to mistreat someone or be a jerk. So pain, but it's weird. Like I said, so same thing with feeling sick. Pain has various colors, like, it's not just one pain. It's, there's A to Z of pain, and then each letter has its own little subcategories and stuff like that. It's not the worst pain. Like this is just it's really hard to describe, like a continuous dull roar without a sound. It's just like someone's taken all my muscles and just, so instead of my muscles being like this and able to move, it's like someone's done this and then tried to twist, and my wrists won't do that, and then try and twist, so it's just everything's like locked, pulled, knotted. It's just tight. It's really unpleasant. The phantom's grasp, or devil's grasp, or phantom's grip, is the worst. That and ear pain are the worst I've ever experienced. Like sharp. The devil's grasp one was the worst in my entire remembered life. I couldn't sit up. To get up, I had to go sideways. Any little, like the cough, because I had pneumonia, glandular fever, and then into devil's grip, all in like a really short month period. So I went pneumonia into this, while at the same time having glandular fever and stuff like that. Like yeah. Funny story about the what's that thing called? Pneumonia. Yeah. So and then when I got the pneumonia, it's hard to distinguish between something new and something chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia syndrome related. So I didn't know, and also I had troubles as a child with breathing, had asthma and that. So I didn't know whether it was just normal, like I was run down, or something was new. I was still taking classes, and albeit like I was watching from the sidelines, and I was training with a boxing gym at the time to enter one of their competitions, and I couldn't work out why I was getting puffed during one of their workouts. I was used to MMA workouts, and this was an introductory course into boxing. I just couldn't work out why I was getting puffed. I was midway through pneumonia. It was funny. So that I had a period there where I got like slammed by these three things, and they all have really similar feelings to CFS and FMS, FMS. So it can get really hard, which ties in with, you got to relearn your body signals so that you can go, this is new, I should get this checked out. I was like, this is just the same thing. This is my brain giving me warning signals because I'm doing something new. That's okay, I'll teach you that it's alright, and that's where I want to get to. So there's a lot going on. It's hard work. Like, occasionally I might say, like, it'd be really nice if screaming was a viable option for feeling better. I know that can like help release some tension and stuff like that, but it's not really like ongoing. It's me just screaming every time. It's not going to really help things. So yeah, fibromyalgia syndrome. When you have it, it likes to wave high occasionally. Like, it's always there, it's always in the background, but sometimes it wants that extra airtime. It's like, by the way, I want some recognition today. Boom. Like, oh, okay. And the other problem with like having it constantly is you don't pick up the signal straight away. I don't pick up the signal straight away because they're all similar. It's just like, oh, I'm in pain, I'll just keep going. So usually by the time I'm really aware of it, it's like I'm stuck. I needed to do something like 4 or 5 half a day ago, 4 or 5 hours ago, that kind of thing. So look, thank you very much for letting me share with you day 53 of chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia syndrome, like tying that in. If you've got any questions, ask away, and please feel to like, share, subscribe, and thank you very much for letting me share this with you today.